Something that really kind of touched me as you were speaking about, someone had said, could you imagine bringing Monica Lewinsky home to meet your family?
Joyce Brothers.
And I have had a lot of experiences like that because I actually wrote a song on my last album called Wild Card about that. And it says like, do you want to play house? I could be your wife. Like, could you imagine taking me home to your mom in a dress this tight? And it was like, because that's how my public persona has been revealing throughout my career. Now I'm, in my 30s and I dress differently and I hope that I have more, present myself in a more mature and sophisticated way. But at one time I had gold teeth and was like wearing a thong and on
I wore
stage,
a thong too, honey.
Had a thong, had my gold, and I was like, could you imagine how many twerking jokes have probably already been made, or you're really going to bring the girl that sticks her tongue out home to meet your mom. Right. And I hated meeting people's family because I would think that the mom had probably already decided that I wasn't good enough for her son.
Yeah. I get that.
And so I was always, again, like you said, kind of self-deprecating at these dinners or make it obvious so it doesn't become awkward or become that unspoken elephant. I would just be me in the room. But I would always either decide, am I going to show up as me or am I going to try to take all my jewelry off and wear a sweatshirt that's really big so you can't see my body at all, or wear baggy clothes so you can't see me. And that was hard until, this kind of past relationship. And I think being older, I was able to start it in a different place with already having those boundaries and feeling more comfortable with myself. So it was less awkward. Because again, like you said, it's usually us. Like I'm bringing half of it into the room. But it was definitely a thing, meeting people's parents. I felt really embarrassed for a long time.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm like, I would have put little Miley on my lap and just stroke your hair. Yeah. It's
hard.
At 51, I am still working on trying to integrate the idea of just this, I think the shame I experienced of certain behaviors that a lot of people would have engaged in and certain behaviors that maybe some wouldn't have, but that the process of them becoming public or my, heinous high school album with the bangs up to here or whatever stupid thing I might have said on the Linda Tripp tapes, all those things. Like I still feel like I have to work to integrate them because I totally related with your SNL, like Hannah Montana's dead.
Right.
I'm like, I get this idea.
I relate to what you said too, because it's like you said about your tapes and not knowing you're being filmed. That happened to me with a bong video when I was 16.
Oh, wow.
And it cost me a very large multi-million-dollar Walmart deal. Oh. And I actually, this is to use the humor, this will make it fun. I had to email the Walmart CEO an apology for being 16 and smoking weed, which most 16-year-olds do. But my email address at the time was Miley Loves Weed. And I had to tell them, which it actually wasn't weed. It really was salvia. But I needed to write to him, I'm sorry for smoking weed. And my mom's like, so here's his email. And she goes, what the hell? What's your email? Miley Loves Weed. You have to change that. And he was old, so I changed my email to Miley Loves Old People. And sent him
Still didn't help.
It didn't help very much. No, I still got fired from Walmart. But these things that, to really have adults firing a teenager for smoking pot, which that when they were 16 or 17, they smoked some weed. Now, the difference is I didn't know I was being filmed. And not only did I know, I might have known someone was filming and not cared because I was high on salvia, but I didn't know that my camera would then get stolen at a teen party because that's how it got leaked. Was I got my backpack stolen at a party. So it's like, that embarrassment of knowing at that time, like, okay, I didn't get any calls from any big companies for movies. And I, as a joke, got my boyfriend a penis cake for his birthday, and I got fired. I was the lead actress in Hotel Transylvania, and they fired me and replaced me because I had made an inappropriate adult joke, but I was 18. So yes, I was fine to work in a kid's movie, but I'm not a kid.
Yeah. Do you think that could happen today?
I don't know if that could happen today. I mean, I don't know if we put our Disney kids on the pedestal the way that we used to, our teen stars. I mean, I feel like I don't know much history about what anyone says or does, but I think that still movies can have consequences for their lead actor or actress doing things that don't align with the audience that the movie is made for. Because what felt ridiculous to me about getting fired from a penis cake was that they sell penis cakes like for all bachelorettes. Like in Nashville, Tennessee, you can get penis cakes. Like that's, it's not that big of a deal. So I thought, this is like a very simple, not vulgar joke. This is silly. And you can do this for all bachelorette parties. They make necklaces and cups and straws and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So it felt ridiculous. But to be fired, for regular things that like girls my age, they go to bachelorette parties and they do this. They go to like Magic Mike shows. But if I was at that time, I wasn't someone that was appropriate for kids, even though that was in my personal life. And that photo, again, only revealed itself because the camera had been stolen.
Right.
Nothing I posted. It's not like I was out there.
You were responsible in your private behavior.
In my private behavior. I was at a private event at a private party and I got robbed.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's not cool.
No. I'm wondering, I think you were probably the biggest Disney child star, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You said it.
Yeah, I said it. So, did you feel a responsibility in a way that you had this mantle to carry in a way? And did you feel that as a responsibility?
I felt it in the responses and the repercussions of my actions, but during my actions, I didn't feel it so much. There wasn't so much of a time where I'm like, going through the steps to make the penis cake and going, probably shouldn't be doing this. Disney's going to be upset. I might have been like, I'm not going to invite my mom to this party. But I didn't think about it becoming a public moment because in my private time, I felt really safe to be the way that a regular 18-year-old would be. But I felt it in the repercussions. And something else I had heard you say was when you were talking about just like existing after that and just going, man, I have a long life to be in this character that I'm not sure I want to be in anymore.
Yeah.
And when that happened to me, it sounds silly now, to go, I'm older and like I got fired for a penis cake, ha ha ha. But at the time, I remember I jumped in the pool and I said, I'm not going to come up until you guys get me my job back. And I mean, it was really upsetting me.
Right.
And I was with my lawyer and my manager at the time, and they were both freaking out because they didn't realize how much it had hurt me until that moment when they realized I had said what I said. And that's when Dr. Amen came into my life. Not exactly that experience, but that year when I became, I think I was 18 the year that I met Dr. Amen. And it was moments like those where he could help me work through those types of things. So I didn't want to go underwater and not come back up.
Right.
Those moments are real for me. And now they're funny, but they definitely weren't funny then.
No, of course not. Of course not. I think too, there's anybody who spends 5 minutes with you can feel that there is such a soft sweetness to you inside.
Glad you see that.